Google Play Store au App Store kwa maelezo ya kuingia katika mashindano ya Risiti Legit. G-Nice na Risiti Legit. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Did you know that as a pension scheme member, you have several rights that protect your savings and ensure your future is secure? First, once you exit your scheme, the law provides that you receive payment within 30 days, and you can transfer your benefits from one scheme to another within 60 days. You have options on exit to take cash, defer, or transfer your benefits. You also have the right to access and interrogate scheme documentation, attend annual general meetings, receive annual benefit statements, and nominate beneficiaries. Further, your pension savings are safeguarded by law, so scheme funds cannot be used to settle loans. Member benefits are protected from execution or attachment, even in cases of bankruptcy or death. The Retirement Benefits Authority plays a crucial role in managing your scheme. We supervise continuously, receiving quarterly and annual submissions from trustees and service providers. Your pension is in safe hands. Know your rights and trust Retirement Benefits Authority to keep your future secure. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line on 0800 720 300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future, secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Exactly 9 o'clock on the nose, and you're right on time for what is making news at this hour, including a firm commitment by the Kenya Private Schools Associations to renovate boarding sections of primary schools that had been flagged by the ministry for non-compliance. That and so much more is what forms our news coverage tonight. Top on this live broadcast.
We do recognize that this season is a time that is marked by increased travel, celebrations in places of worship. A total of 10,317 officers have been deployed for this exercise.
Securing the festive season, police officers recalled from leave in a multi-agency approach to cover public gatherings.
And so far, we've netted 4 tons of cannabis across the region.
Raiding coast province of drug trafficking. Police tighten news on drug dealers and seize several narcotics.
And now I declare this strategic plan of the ODPP 2023 to 2027 officially launched.
And it is a unified government approach. Deputy President tells institutions with shared goals to cooperate. Many thanks for choosing KBC Channel 1 to inform you tonight. I'm Doreen Arange. My colleague JJ is away. He will be back next week. Our sign language interpreter is Ann Wangeshi. Let's inform you. Now we start off with security matters, where the government is tonight assuring Kenyans of their security heading into the festivities. All police officers currently on leave have been recalled back to their working stations with immediate effect to enhance security operations across the country. Internal Security Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo says areas of focus include places of worship, markets, airports and tourist sites. A multi-agency team to be domiciled at Langata Barracks comprising of Kenya Defence Forces and police, among other agencies, will lead the security operations.
As the country and the world at large gears for Christmas and the New Year festive season, the government says it is at the top of things to ensure the security and safety of all Kenyans.
We do recognize that this season is a time that is marked by increased travel, celebrations in places of worship.
Announcing the measures put in place, Internal Security Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo said a multi-agency team with command centers in all regions has been formed to lead the security operations in the country.
In terms of operational coordination, we are activating the National Multi-Agency Command Center at the Langata Barracks, notably the Kenya Defence Forces, the National Police Service, the Kenya Prison Service, the Kenya Wildlife Service, the Kenya Forestry Service, the Kenya Coast Guard Service, the National Government Administration officers, together with the Private Security Regulatory Authority.
The PS say that although the country remains largely secure, nothing will be left to chance, adding that areas of interest are public spaces and social gatherings.
We do recognize that this season is a time that is marked by increased travel, celebrations in places of worship, social gatherings, in shopping malls and recreational spaces, outdoor entertainment events, and heightened local and international tourism activities.
He said the police will also pay special attention to contain muggings and home burglary, among other potential crimes.
A total of 10,317 officers have been deployed for this exercise.
Giverson Minor, Prime Edition.
Now, the Coast Region Security Team has intensified its fight against drug trafficking this year by arresting 33 suspected drug dealers and seizing substantial quantities of narcotics, including 4 tons of cannabis sativa, 3.4 kilograms of heroin, and 400 grams of cocaine. Speaking after a meeting with security teams from the 6 coastal counties, the Coast Regional Commissioner, Rhoda Onyancha, reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring the region remains drug-free.
Coast Regional Commissioner Rhoda Onyancha says the war on drugs will be won. Onyancha revealed that so far 33 suspected drug dealers have been arrested and substantial quantities of narcotics have been seized this year.
So far, we've netted 4 tons of cannabis across the region. The biggest hauls being from Kwale and Kilifi. So we are going to put in place mechanisms to ensure that we don't have more drugs coming into the region. We've also netted 3.4 kgs of cocaine and 400 grams of 3.4 kgs of heroin and 400 grams of cocaine. So this fight is on, and even during this festive season, we are going to ensure that we are going to secure this region so that the people that are coming in and also those that are living in this area do not have that supply of drugs in this region.
At the same time, she noted that they have established a command center, urging the public to report any suspicious activities during the festive season using emergency numbers 112, 999, and 911.
So we have come up with a multi-agency center, not only in the region, but every county, so that they are able to address the issues that are coming up in their county levels. And we are going to ensure that we have officers there 24 hours to receive any emergencies or to react to any emergencies that are going to be raised by the people, even in this region.
Onyancha further called on the parents to keep a close eye and monitor their children during this festive season, owing to increasing cases of sexual assault perpetrated by foreigners visiting the coast region. For Prime Edition, I'm Abdulaziz Abeid.
Moving on, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has challenged all government independent institutions to collaborate to achieve shared goals. Speaking during the launch of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions ODPP Strategic Plan 2023-2027, Kindiki stressed that such cooperation would not undermine their autonomy but enhance synergy in the unified government approach.
And now I declare this strategic plan of the ODPP 2023 to 2027 officially launched.
The launch of the Office of Directorate of Public Prosecution Strategic Plan 2023-2027 comes in the wake of increasing cases of femicide and police brutality, issues the DPP Renzo Nigonga was alive to.
In addition, I undertake to prosecute and expedite cases relating to murder, especially femicide and gross violation of human rights by law enforcement authorities against individuals on group amongst others.
Igonga said service to the people is the overarching goal of the strategic plan.
Let me affirm that the ODPP strategic plan will focus on people as the key stakeholder and ensure the adherence as well as observance of the tenets of human rights-centric approach to prosecutions.
The Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, who was a chief guest, urged government institutions that have shared goals to cooperate under the unified government approach even as they strive for autonomy.
There is need for continued collaboration, not just between the various criminal justice sector actors, but also between other stakeholders, including external and non-governmental partners, some of whom I am happy to see present here today. It is only through such cooperation that we can maximize on our individual limited resources.
He applauded the ODPP for launching its strategic plan and reiterated the state's commitment to supporting its transformative initiatives.
I am confident that if the ODPP faithfully and fully implements this strategic plan and secures the delivery of high-quality prosecution services to the citizens of Kenya.
To some education matters now, the Kenya Private Schools Association has committed to renovate the boarding sections in the 348 primaries that were shut down by the Ministry for non-compliance with safety standards. However, a section of legislators have appealed to the ministry to give schools more time to rehabilitate their facilities.
A section of private school heads converged Wednesday morning at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, KICD, for a training session on new developments in the competency-based curriculum. The government directive to close the boarding sections of some 348 schools over safety issues, however, topped the agenda with the Kenya Private Schools Association chairman, Charles Ochome, stating the commitment to compliance.
The schools that had those problems, we have communicated to them, the ministry communicated to them. They are supposed to make good those areas which were not right. And we are in recess. You are all aware schools are closed. So the schools are working on those areas. I believe within the next 2 to 3 weeks, many of them will have complied. And we expect the ministry will be going back to assess and give them a clean bill of health.
He said the renovations will take a maximum of 3 weeks, assuring parents that the works will not interfere with the reopening of the first term on 6th January 2025.
Little as some of the schools did not have 2 doors. You agree with me, in 2-3 weeks, a school can put a door. There were others which did not have things like firefighting materials. And I think those are things they buy and put into those places.
Meanwhile, the director of Kasarani Group of School, Irene Kamau, has called upon the ministry to apologize to the school board after the school was shortlisted. Irene disclosed that the school has no boarding section as per the license they obtained as a facility.
The school does not have a boarding section. We run a day school. We are registered as such, as a day school, and therefore we feel that our name is erroneously listed in the list of schools that have boarding schools. We request that that list, if possible, to be upgraded or updated to read or to remove our name from it.
However, a session of legislators have appealed to the Ministry of Education to give more time to the identified schools to raise funds for the renovations.
The reasons why students go for boarding schools or to the boarding schools is because of distance and the choice of school. You cannot tell a parent who lives in Nairobi and has his kid in Nyeri boarding school that now you'll be going as a day scholar from Nyeri to Nairobi. There ought to have been a timeline, or more or less, for lack of a better word, moratorium of timeline, so that they can be able to comply gradually.
There has to be a very good standard of doing assessment so that we do not close schools which may be because of the substandard dormitories or substandard classrooms. And yet, Mr. Speaker, the needs of the people who are in that particular area need schools, need classrooms.
The ministry's directive comes 3 months after the fire tragedy at Hillside and Arange Academy Dormitory that claimed the lives of 21 children. John Chege, Prime Edition.
Hear this. Your television of choice, the KBC Channel 1 and affiliate outlets are promising their respective audience revamped programs and news coverage going forward. The imminent transformation will be hinged on the upgrade of the corporation's infrastructure and staff motivation. The revelation was made during the KBC Board Maiden Town Hall with members of staff at Broadcasting House. Watch.
It was the first meeting of its kind between members of staff and the corporation's new board. This was also an opportunity for the new substantive managing director, Agnes Kaleche, to formally introduce herself to the KBC family. Along with the corporation's board chair, Tom Mshindi, Kaleche pledged an action on the issues raised by staff members, including prompt response to staff concerns.
I am committed to fostering a clear and strategic vision for KBC. A key pillar of this vision is strengthening our staff welfare and productivity. I believe a motivated and supported workforce is essential to achieving our goals.
We have a transformation strategy that we've prepared as a board and management, and we are driving it. We're trying to see how we can navigate the labyrinth of policy and so on and so forth to maximize the use of whatever resources we have, to release some equity for us, to improve the facilities, improve the things that we have to use, and more importantly, improve our capacity to produce content that is relevant.
The new MD pledged a critical upgrade of the corporation's infrastructure to align the state broadcaster to the changing media landscape.
We'll collaborate with both internal and external stakeholders such as advertisers, government agencies, and industry partners. This will be pivotal in building a resilient and a sustainable KBC. These partnerships will enable us to leverage resources, enhance our reach, and solidify our position in the media industry.
The audience of the respective KBC media outlets, including Channel 1, should therefore expect revamped entertaining programs and extensive news coverage.
To remain competitive in ever-evolving media industry, we must embrace cutting-edge approaches and invest strategically in technology. This includes modernizing our production processes, expanding our digital presence, and diversifying revenue stream to ensure the long-term sustainability of KBC as a service public broadcaster. Another key focus area will be reconnecting with our audiences. Our audiences are key. Our content must resonate deeply with the people we serve.
All right, time for me to now press pause on this live broadcast. We recall with plenty more, including business and sports. Stay put.
Wewe bro, nipatie hiyo risiti ya items. Wazi.
Cheki, mimi sina adui hizo Excuse, nilete receipt yangu ya items. Asante.
Ni pesa ngapi? 3,000.
Hebu nisaidie na ile receipt ya items.
Nimeshinda mili. I'm the latest millionaire. Marry me, baby.
Yes! Guys, nimeshinda laptop. Nimeshinda TV 50 inches.
G-Nice na Receipt Legit promotion kutoka KRA. Download Receipt Legit app, scan QR code kwenye receipt yako, ujishindie zawadi kem kila wiki. Kuna grand prize ya milioni 3 kwa washindi wa 3 milioni kila mmoja.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Hiyo boom experience pia iko.
I've been to Dubai, China, and now off to the US. Courtesy of eCitizen, I managed to get my passport just in time for my first conference abroad. Even you guys can get it. Link up with eCitizen. Service below stress. Service below stress.
Service below stress.
Did you get any receipt?
Hapana.
Was there any acknowledgement?
Even the rest walikuwa hapo si.
Kwani nyinyi mnahusika na hii kesi?
Mtu akikuitisha hongo tafadhali ripoti kwa ofisi za EACC na tuko na toll free number 1551.
Ni anti corruption.
Si anti wa corruption.
Huyu mzee hana huruma hata kwa watu kama. Mimi simulisema nikuje niongee.
Mnachukua hiyo nafasi mnaenda kulagai watu.
Kesi hii imekuja wakati mzuri kwa maana wiki ijayo tunasherehekea tarehe 9 Disemba tunasherehekea International Anti-Corruption Day.
Na nyinyi vijana, wakati mwingine mkisikia kuna kazi imetangazwa na serikali, mfuate ile njia inatakikana. Unasikia?
Welcome back. Let's continue to inform you. And our First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, has launched a pilot program of kitchen gardens project in several schools in Nairobi County. This marks a significant step in boosting the school feeding program. Rachel Ruto says the project, which is expected to be replicated in all schools across the country, seeks to ensure that all school-going children have access to food that is nutritious. Our reporter, Picho Chemtai, with the details.
On Wednesday morning at State House Primary School, First Lady Rachel Ruto kicked off the day by planting a tree before joining learners at their kitchen garden. Crops such as vegetables, cassava, and fruit trees are thriving in this kitchen garden. The First Lady, who is pushing for the adoption of the project in several schools across the country, says that in addition to increasing food access in schools, the initiative also aims to support the competency-based curriculum by setting up kitchen gardens as demonstration farms in primary schools.
And I'm very happy because the 4K clubs have been revived. And we are saying, let's enhance the kitchen gardens, the gardens that we have in our schools. And you know, sometimes we just need to encourage somebody to tell them, you are doing a good job. Let's do it together.
Because we want to ensure that each of the children in Nairobi grows up getting all the nutritional aspects that are required for you to not only develop physically, but also to develop mentally.
Rachel Ruto, who was accompanied by leaders drawn from Nairobi County, noted that agriculture is one of the key pillars of the bottom-up economic agenda, and this project will push the agenda forward.
And that is why we are very keen to make sure that every home every school has something to eat. And that thing can only be found if each one of us comes out and goes to the farm to do something.
That food security, that sustainable goal of eradicating hunger is critical for our nation, for us to grow.
The First Lady also visited Nairobi Primary School and St. George's Primary School, where she joined learners in tendering the kitchen gardens. Opicho Chemtai for Prime Edition.
And the National Assembly has approved Abdi Mohamud as the new Chief Executive Officer of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, to replace Twalib Mbarak. During the debate on his suitability, lawmakers challenged Mohamud to take a bold and uncompromising stance in the fight against corruption, emphasizing the urgent need for integrity and accountability in public service.
The Deputy CEO, he has superintended all the way through courts so that illegally acquired public assets are recovered. And therefore, we now seek the House to approve Mr. Abdi Ahmed Mohamud to be the next Secretary and CEO of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Madam,
I think it is important we note the baseline where he is starting. He is starting at the position that one, it is starting at the position 126. So that in 5 years, in 10 years, we'll be able to be able to measure his performance. And if we go that way, we'll be helping this country. So I really have no problem with this, him taking over the position, but I thought it is wise to share these statistics. But the last thing, Honorable Speaker, as I see it after supporting, Honorable Speaker, if you look at what has been happening in this country, the EACC and the DPP, the so-called Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, we have seen some exchange of letters which are not good for this country. And many years we have been pushing that the EACC is given some prosecutorial powers so that they can investigate, arrest, and prosecute. But we know our constitution does not allow that. So that is a challenge which to some extent has to be addressed, Honorable Speaker, if we have to give teeth to this EACC.
But Mr. Abdi has vast knowledge of EACC, and he has done his work well before being appointed as Deputy CEO. Before his appointment or this nomination, he was the Deputy CEO, just a heartbeat away from the CEO's position. That tells you he has performed very well and he can still perform as CEO.
The Political Parties Liaison Committee has faulted Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka for allegedly undermining the process of selecting new independent electorals and boundaries commissioners. Speaking in Nairobi, a section of leaders selected from the minority side of Azimio la Umoja has accused the Wiper Party leader of pushing his interests instead of those of the coalition. The committee wants stakeholders to avoid using illegal tactics when pushing for the reconstitution of IEBC.
In the minority coalition, which is Azimio, 17 political parties out of 23 voted for Augustus Muli, and he won. So he was going to represent Azimio in the selection panel.
The fight is not, this matter is not about the government. This matter is strictly about Wiper leader wanting to have his own commissioners, wanting to have people who are only loyal to him at the selection panel. And I have said no. I've been selected by a majority by 16 out of 7 parties. I am going to represent them to the end. The only verdict I can accept is that of the courts, or if the churches, if they're giving an ultimatum, if they call us, we talk and we choose people who we really think are going to serve this country.
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos has warned private developers involved in grabbing of land belonging to educational institutions. This and other stories in our county's news roundup.
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos was launching 12 new classrooms at Kakamega Primary School when the head teacher Dixon Onyango disclosed that a private developer had grabbed a portion of the school's land.
So it is our responsibility, and I'm encouraging all our education directors in all the counties in the country to undertake an audit to ensure that each and every institution, the land is protected and we get the title deeds for it.
Elsewhere, medical services at the Machakos Level 5 hospital are still disrupted by the ongoing doctor strike, which has lasted over 2 months.
What we want to urge the county government today is that they should first of all have goodwill, because we know very well that the grievances that we have raised before with them multiple times, uncountable times, I must say, these grievances continue to stand today. And we have the county government purporting to withhold salaries, then that is a matter that we will pursue to the end.
On food security, the government through the Ministry of Water and Irrigation has initiated a county marshal program in arid and semi-arid areas to boost agricultural activities and help curb conflicts.
Food security is one of the ministries mandated especially on matters rice, and we owe it to build infrastructure and empower our farmers.
Young men are embracing this farming, and that will be a good for the future. And that is what we are happy. We work on the reservoir for the water, and the water will flow and we'll be able to use it.
Meanwhile, farmers bordering Bungoma and Trans Nzoia forests have been asked to fence their farms to avert destruction from wild animals.
Farmers release their livestock to just walk on the land, and most of these, the trees, the fruits, and some of even the value chains like bananas, they are destroyed.
Elsewhere, police in Garissa have intercepted 88 25 kg bags of contraband sugar and impounded 2 Probox vehicles along the Nuno-Garissa road.
Tunataka kuhimiza wananchi ya Garissa ama hii region ama tupase habari ndio tuwe na sikukuu njema, ama hii nyakati ya festive season iende vizuri na tusuie ile vitu mbaya inaingizwa katika jiji letu ya Garissa.
In Laikipia County, the AMG Foundation has opened a free library in Nanyuki's Majengo area to assist locals get access to learning materials.
Ili wanaweza soma hapa, iko na kompyuta zaidi ya 30, iko na vitabu zaidi ya 1500 ambazo ni free. Mtoto halipishwi chochote kukuja kusoma na mtoto anasikia ako free.
Watoto wale wametoka hapa ndio wengi hawakuagi na nafasi ya kupata mambo kama haya, hata kwenda kutafuta library services, hata kununua vitabu na wazazi wao, mara nyingine inakuaga shida.
Still on education, tutors in technical and training institutes have urged the government to channel job applications to their institutions to enhance their access to jobs abroad.
The president has already talked about world-class training for Kenyan youth, and that is what would be very important if the youth are given the latest in the world skills, so that even when they go outside Kenya, they are competitive.
Martini Maslin for Prime Edition.
Young thespians from Kyoto School captivated audience with their powerful rendition of the Luo folklore, Luanda Magere. This epic tale, steeped in Luo mythology, revolves around the legendary warrior Luanda Magere, known for his impenetrable skin and extraordinary powers. As reviewed in our weekly segment, Cinemas and Theatre, the play masterfully brings to life the hero's journey, his resilience on his shadow as a source of strength, and his ultimate downfall when his secret is exposed. Take a look.
A captivating performance by Kyoto School students showcases the power of African storytelling in their dramatic adaptation of the Luo folklore Luanda Magere. The play brings to the life the legendary story of the warrior whose strength and unique powers made him a heroic figure in Luo mythology. The story centers around Luanda Magere, the mighty warrior, known for his impenetrable skin and remarkable powers. In the play, Luanda's strength lies in his shadow, an ability that ultimately becomes his downfall when enemies discover his secret. In the original folklore, Luanda's death leads to a time of sorrow, but Abuya, the scriptwriter, adds a more hopeful ending to highlight the importance of unity.
I know the story has been told so many times, and with oral literature, you always there's always a truth to tweak any story to the modern day times or happenings or things that are going on. So I felt that this was timely in the sense that what's happening in our country, every election cycle, every 5 years, and it's something that it's progressive. So we have issues of unity, and we need to tell this story, and it's important that it's being told by kids, Gen Alpha, who many assume are out of touch or probably do not know what's happening around, or they're shielded by their parents or the communities around them.
Robinson Mudavadi, the play director, observes that despite the play being done by school children, he was deeply impressed by the quality of the performance, observing that the rehearsals took 2 months to prepare.
It wasn't that easy, as I said, because schools were, some of the kids were from another campus of the same school. So we had to do some rehearsals for music. We had to do rehearsals for the warriors. We have to do rehearsals for those ones who are main. And then at the end of the day, and maybe during the weekends, we just put all of them up together. Yeah.
The students, dressed in vibrant costumes and using symbolic props like shields and spears, delivered strong performances that kept the audiences engaged from start to finish.
When you direct kids, you have to stoop low to their level because it's a bit technical. But at the end of the day, you have to also make them understand some key stage movements. They should also understand the story, and they should also understand that they are not the ones who are really doing that role, like in terms of those are different characters.
It was a lovely experience because the kids really enjoyed it. Some of them have never done any traditional dances ever before, so it was quite an experience for them. They really enjoyed wearing those sisal skirts, all the warrior regalia and all those things.
The play Luanda Magere is a testament to the enduring power of African storytelling and the ability of young performers to bring these timeless tales to life. Jacqueline Masharia for Cinemas and Theatre.
Have a complaint, or is something just not adding up with your pension scheme? It's easy to file a complaint directly with the Retirement Benefits Authority, and it's absolutely free. Just visit www.complaints.rba.go.ke and follow the prompts to file your complaint. RBA will acknowledge your complaint within 7 working days. Your complaint will be reviewed and addressed within 30 working days. Your time and peace of mind are important, and anyone dissatisfied with a decision decision of RBA can appeal to the Independent Retirement Benefits Appeals Tribunal. RBA is here to listen and resolve your complaint promptly because your retirement should be stress-free. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800-720-300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Christmas ni sahi ishafika na ni kubwa.
Kwani?
Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1.
Rudia.
Star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 HTV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings.
Nambuzi moja?
Nambuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra.
Nambuzi moja?
Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Nambuzi mbili.
Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Nani kubwa. Hapa kuna ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
It's time to talk. After Homa Bay, we're bringing the conversation to your doorstep. Good questions, concerns?
Which criteria are you using that you can say now we want to increase this limit to this amount?
We've got the right answers.
The first criteria which we use is that the limit which we want to have must cover the majority of the people.
This is your chance to meet the experts face to face. Get clarity, get informed, get secure. Meru, are you ready? Don't miss out. Be there.
Mamlaka ya ukusanyaji ushuru nchini inakuletea kampeni ya umma ya G-Nice na Risiti Legit. Thibitisha risiti yako ukitumia app ya Risiti Legit, upate nafasi ya kuibuka mshindi wa zawadi kemkem kama vile shilingi milioni 1 pesa taslim, laptops, televisheni ya inchi 50, smartphones na zawadi zingine. Disemba tarehe 4, siku ya Jumatano, kutana na msafara wetu Homa Bay katika maeneo ya Oyugis, Rangwe, Rodi, Mpiwa, Sori, Kendu Bay, Homa Bay Town na Mbita. Alhamisi tarehe 5 Disemba tutakuwa Kisii, maeneo ya Kisii Town, Ogembo, Suneka, Kanyenya, Nyamache, Marani, Masimba na Keumbu. Pata app ya Risiti Legit kwa Google Play Store au App Store kwa maelezo ya kuingia katika mashindano ya Risiti Legit. G-Nice na Risiti Legit. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Welcome back. You're still on Prime Edition, and opposition parties have submitted an impeachment motion against South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol over his declaration of martial law. 6 opposition parties launched the bill in Parliament on Wednesday. The opposition had earlier threatened to launch the process should Yoon not immediately stepped down over the botched order, which prompted chaotic scenes overnight as lawmakers tussled with troops to enter the National Assembly to vote it down.
The surprise declaration of martial law in the major USA early late on Tuesday caused a standoff with Parliament, which rejected President Yoon's attempt to ban political activity and censor the media, as armed troops forced their way into the National Assembly building in Seoul. South Korean lawmakers submitted a bill on Wednesday to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol after he declared martial law and reversed the move hours later, triggering a political crisis in Asia's 4th largest economy. The main opposition Democratic Party called for Yoon, who has been in office since 2022, to resign or face impeachment.
Time for your business news now. Stepping in for my colleague Betty Kiptum. And our economists are calling for more financial accountability on how the country contracts manages debt. Organizations drawn from economic think tanks and development partners say Kenya's debt recovery should begin with auditing the current public debt registry and avoiding expensive foreign commercial loans.
Data from the National Treasury indicates that public debt accounted for 67.2% of the country's nominal GDP as of June 2024, compared with the ratio of 67.4% in the previous quarter. The data reached an all-time high of 73.7% in December 2023 and a record low of 39.7% in March 2010. To rein in on the rising debt, the government has been working on an aggressive fiscal consolidation while working with the private sector to fund critical development projects.
Procurement, ensuring Kenyans get most of the contracts, requirement for certain contracts to go to Parliament, a level of openness. That way it's easier to have aspects of accountability and transparency. Those ones are commendable, but one of the few.
Economic experts, however, say that Kenya needs to do more to tame runaway debt.
Regardless of the dysfunction that exists in the constitutional infrastructure, right? I'm tying it up to what specific guide Parliament needs to do its job.
The National Treasury had announced plans to clean the country's debt registry with the idea of presenting a clear picture of the country's public debt position.
We're talking about greater transparency, greater participation of the people, greater consideration of what is the purpose of development.
The economists were speaking during the launch on a report on Kenya's debt between 2000 and 2024. So far, despite Kenya's high debt to GDP position, the country has averted the dreaded debt default. Alanauko, Prime Edition.
And now the National Treasury wants Parliament to extend the lifespan of the Equalization Fund to ensure all approved, incomplete and stalled projects are fully implemented. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi says the fund's duration is currently set at 20 years, leaving the fund with only 6 years to achieve its objectives, affecting the implementation of projects under that specific fund.
The Equalization Fund is provided for under Article 204 of the Constitution to provide basic services including water, roads, health facilities, and electricity to marginalized counties. The article provides that 0.5% of all revenue collected by the national government is allocated to the fund. From this, the Commission on Revenue Allocation established the first marginalization policy and second marginalization policy to ensure equal development for all. However, under the second marginalization policy, the shift from the county to sub-locations resulted in at least 1,424 areas identified requiring more funds. National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi says this has resulted in reduced resources, impacting negatively on the implementation of key projects.
The shift from the focal point being counties to the areas which are considered marginalized, that we need to rethink that, and again, so that these funds can have high impact.
Further, the government says a review by Parliament on the fund's lifespan will allow arrears accrued expedited to prioritize and approve projects that directly address marginalization issues.
Kindly fast track the appropriations of this fund. It doesn't help us to accumulate arrears. It puts pressure on us as National Treasury. If we would be seamlessly transferring the funds, appropriating and transferring the funds, then National Treasury would find it easy to release these funds.
In the face of these shortfalls, my administration, through the National Treasury, is committed to fully implement the plan that has been agreed upon by all parties to clear the arrears owed to the Equalization Fund. This will allow us to avail equal opportunities to all Kenyans, including those living in the marginalized areas.
The remarks emerged during the launch of 1,236 projects that are ready for implementation under the Equalization Fund Strategic Plan of 2024 to 2028. Ndutamo Kami for Prime Edition.
Now, Kenya plans to cut malaria incidences and deaths by at least 75% by 2027. The government says the disease, which remains a top killer in the country, costs the economy billions of shillings every year through treatments and lost working hours. The government has so far received 60 billion shillings from Global Fund to combat the spread of malaria causing mosquitoes and distributing treated mosquito nets.
Malaria remains a major public health problem in Kenya, causing the economy more than 20 billion shillings every year due to health-related complications. Every year, nearly 6.7 million clinical cases of malaria are reported in Kenya, with 70% of the population being at risk of malaria. The government, through the National Treasury, Ministry of Health and the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, plans to spend the funds on 24 malaria endemic counties across the country. Speaking during a recent visit to Kenya to assess the ongoing mass distribution campaign of long-lasting insecticidal nets at Kipkelion Sub-County Hospital Post in Kericho County, Lisa Butler, Senior Programs Officer at the Global Fund, says the use of treated nets plays a major role in reducing the spread of the disease.
KEMSA has always been involved in the mass net campaigns, but this time KEMSA was tasked with doing the distribution all the way to the last mile, we call it, which is the distribution post where the nets are given out to the beneficiaries.
Butler says the use of digital platform, one of the standard features of the campaign, providing crucial transparency in the distribution process.
The Digimall platform that was developed here, it was a local development, and it allowed, it's a online application that all different parts of the system have been able to use to track where the nets are, to place the net orders, to see exactly how many nets are where and how many have been distributed.
Frederick Mwoki for Prime Edition.
Another Central Bank of Kenya has admitted 4 new external members to the Monetary Policy Committee after a 3-month delay in filling the 4 posts. The 4 positions failed vacant in August this year after the term of the 4 previous external members expired. The 4 new members are Dr. Kemboi Kipruto, SS Nyongo, Dr. Freshia Mugo, and Jared Osoro. The MPC is a critical arm of the bank, which is supposed to ensure that the supply of money in the economy is consistent with the growth and price objectives set by the government. The decisions of the committee are primarily meant to maintain price stability in the economy, guided by inflation numbers. Members of the committee include the central bank governor, the deputy governor, 2 members appointed by the governor, 4 external members, and the principal secretary of the National Treasury. The appointment comes at a time when the committee is expected to hold its final meeting this year on the 5th of December. President William Ruto has assented to the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill 2024, which allocates 2.2 trillion shillings to the national government. The Division of Revenue Amendment Act 2024 also provides 387 billion shillings as equitable share of revenue to counties for the financial year 2024-2025.
The Division of Revenue Amendment Act 2024 provides 387 billion shillings as equitable share of revenue to counties for the financial year 2024-2025. Initially, the Finance Bill 2024 had allocated 400 billion shillings as equitable share of revenue to counties, but the bill's rejection forced the figure to be reviewed downwards to 380 billion shillings. Eventually, the National Assembly and the Senate struck an agreement at 387 billion shillings for counties, representing 24.67% of the most recent audited revenue. This is way above the 15% minimum threshold constitutional requirement. The Act has allocated 2.2 trillion shillings to the national government. The President also assented to the Rating Act 2024, which creates a standard framework for valuation and rating and clear guidelines for counties on how to assess property values and impose rates, among others. Among the bills assented to by the President at State House, Nairobi, was the Water Amendment Act 2024, which provides for public-private partnerships in financing the development of waterworks by the national government agencies.
10 minutes to the top of the hour. We are due for another break. We'll circle back with sports news. Daniel Holmes will stand by for that.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC Online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sport, music, entertainment news, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital App.
A very good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahom and welcome to Prime Edition Sport. Now, Nairobi City Thunder will not rest on their laurels after being crowned champions of the Elite 16 East Division when they proved to be too strong for Creole Star of Cape Verde during the 2025 Road to BAL finals as Urunani BBC from Burundi overcame City Oilers of Uganda to finish third. The Kenya Men's Basketball Premier League champion.
Answer to that is just my coach and my teammates. So they always encourage me, even when I was not shooting my best at practice. They always encourage me, if you have an open shot, you take it. So it's just like confidence. So they kept my confidence going, and I came to the tournament with high confidence that I'm able to knock down the shots, and thank God I made the shots.
For us to be the first Kenyan club to qualify for BAL, to be able to go 5-0 in front of our amazing fans that kept showing up game after game, and just a really beautiful experience for our club, and I think for Kenyan basketball at large.
Ding, ding, ding! Now, the 2024 Kenya Academy of Sports Talent Camps were officially launched today by Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Kipchumba Murkomen. The talent camps are located in Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa and Eldoret and will feature 11 sporting disciplines. A year after the inaugural National Youth Talent Camp organized by the Kenya Academy of Sports saw the emergence of the junior starlets that played as this year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. 3,000 young athletes selected from the national primary and secondary school games will have sessions with elite development coaches in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu and Eldoret. The 2024 camps were launched today with the Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Kipchumba Murkomen, stating that the ministry is expanding the scope of the camps to include special needs sports.
Kenya Academy of Sports has been family directed, that they should not concentrate. I know last year we attempted to do a national tournament, but I've told the Kenya Academy of Sports that they should concentrate on growing the younger talent. The other tournament can be organized by the federation, can be organized also by county governments.
The objective of this camp is to provide top-notch training to students under the guidance of Kenya's most accomplished coaches, and the camp aims at providing platform for nurturing and sharpening of sports talents among the young athletes.
Disability sports like goalball and amputee football are part of the program.
At the end of this training, we are expecting that we shall be able to select a qualified team that will help us to compete next year in the activities that will be planned.
Unaona, the senior team ikifika mahali kuna yule atalegeza. Akilegeza kuna vijana wanakuja chini, unakuwa na team ambayo ni continuity. Continuity is the most important thing.
The 2024 camps will run until the 15th of December 2024. Now, Tony Omondi has been included in the Kenya Sevens team that will compete in the second leg of the World Rugby Sevens Series set for this weekend in Cape Town, South Africa. Omondi, who had been left out of the opening leg in Dubai due to contractual issues, is expected to join the team within the week.
Tony Omondi will replace Christian Ojwang in the Kenya Sevens team for Cape Town after Ojwang suffered an injury during the first leg of the series in Dubai, where Kenya finished 10th. He has been operated on and is expected in the country today. Omondi won the 2024 Dubai Sevens Invitational Tournament with Shogun Rugby. In Cape Town, Kenya is in Pool B together with Australia and Spain and will play Australia in their opening encounter. Pool A has Fiji, Great Britain and Uruguay. Pool C has Argentina, South Africa and Ireland, while New Zealand, France and USA make Pool D. Elsewhere, Malindi Turtles won the 4-day Lamu Beach Rugby Tournament after they defeated NYS in the final. Other teams that competed in the tournament were Safaricom, Lamu and Witu. The second edition of the tournament will now be held in March next year, following the successful hosting of the first edition in Lamu. The tournament, which attracted 5 teams, was organized to promote sports tourism, nurture talents in Lamu County, counter violence and promote mental health. Meanwhile, Atete Benzige is the only Kenyan to be included in the team of 6 riders who will represent Africa in the second edition of the FIM Oceania Women's Motocross Cup, set to take place in March next year. Atete was selected in the team together with Leah Haygate of Zambia, Sharifa Katiti from Uganda, and Mikenke Karud, Zoe Botha and Ivana Venter, all from South Africa.
Now, Gor Mahia FC moved to second position on the FKF Premier League standings after they defeated Talanta FC by 3-2 in a highly competitive match played at the Dandora Stadium in Nairobi to cut KCB's lead to 2 points. Sylvester Wino put the defending champions ahead in the 15th minute before it was cancelled by Talanta FC's Emmanuel Osoro. In the 22nd minute, Austin Odhiambo and Chris Ocheng put Gor Mahia ahead in the 36th and 46th minutes as Bernard Odhiambo tried to reduce the deficit with a second for Talanta, but their fate was already sealed. In another match, Police FC were relieved to go back to winning ways against Nairobi City Stars. They beat by 3-1 at the Dandora Stadium. Clinton Kinanga opened the scoring in the 14th minute before City Stars forward Yuto Kusaba equalized in the 38th minute. However, Marvin Abuire restored Police FC's lead in the 40th minute before Eric Zakayo sealed the score sheet in injury time. Shabana FC meanwhile drew 1-1 with Posta Rangers at the Kenyatta Stadium in the third midweek match.
Pembeni sasa Eric Zakayo Ngava anamaliza mchezo. Ngava je, atamaliza Ngava? Kazi kwisha, imeisha hiyo.
That's the sport for tonight, but I know all the banter and the noise around the sport tonight is that minor matter between Arsenal and Manchester United in the English Premier League. So much noise around it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. My name is Daniel Wahome. Thank you for being with us. Back to you, Doreen.
Time for me to exit, sit round for Inayad Show. They're ready on the other side of studio. This has been Prime Edition. We appreciate you for your valid company. I'm Doreen Arange, and Wangeshi has been our sign language interpreter. Good night.
*570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Hiyo boom experience pia iko.
Kwamba kila mara unapozungumza na mimi ni kunifanisha tuna Kabiru. Elewa kwamba mimi na Hashon na Kabiru tu watu wawili tofauti.
Mama ngwe unahisi kuchoka. Mwanzo kabisa ungehisi kuchoka na hii hulka yako mbaya mbovu ya kumleta kijana mdogo. Jamani, kijana mdogo tu kwenye nyumba. Na isitoshe mama.
As I was saying, unajua mimi sijaikuwa na dem tangu nizaliwe.
Acha kunichocha.
Sasa mbona nikuchocha?
It's DJ Derage, baby. It's DJ Derage, baby.
Fire, 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 fire.
Babylon, them got no real friend. Children live up and know that. Babylon, them got no real friend. You cram their way when they're about to commit their sins. They will try to get you out of race. Refuse their ways like Marcus Garvey from the past. Still we know can't get we out of race. Children, live up and know that Babylon, them got no real friend. Children, live up and know that Babylon, them got no real friend. They are the ones who are responsible for election violence. Now you know they got no real friend. Still the ones who are running from ICC. Don't you know they got no real friend. Live up and know that Babylon, them got no real friend. Children, live up and know that Babylon, them got no real friend. They got descendants everywhere in the world. Wanna hold on to power, and now we cry. They walk around telling lies to